Hello garden friends! So you've seen all my plants and you've seen all my flowers. In today's video, I'm going to give you a tour of all my garden decorations. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how I turned my old water fountain into a beautiful new plant stand. Okay, let's start with the obvious, my beautiful painted doors. Currently, I have 21 painted doors in my garden and counting. There's always room for one more. Now, a lot of people ask me, how do I keep them from fading? Do I put varathane on them? Truth is, I have in the past, but that varathane stuff, it actually made the doors look a dingy yellow, and it also started to peel. So it made the doors look a lot worse than they do if they were to get faded. But that's okay, because after about 3 years, I do repaint them, and it just gives them a fresh new look, and it gives me something to do and a fun way to be creative in the garden. And it's always looking different. It never looks the same. Another question I'm asked is, during the winter, do I bring them in? No, I do not. They're screwed against the fence so the wind can't blow them down, and that's a lot of doors to bring into storage. So I just leave them out all year long. Because I'm in California, I'm in my garden all the time anyway. So this way I get to enjoy them no matter what season they're in. Still deciding what color I want to paint this door. This is an old door that I found at a garage sale. I know that came out of an old house. It's super heavy. My granddaughter helped me paint this one using her hands. That was such a fun day and such a great project to do with children. So far, this purple one is one of my favorites. I recently repainted that one last year just to brighten it up because, like I said, with time, the doors do fade. I think these doors are my favorite. I just love this collection, so I keep them protected underneath that Japanese maple tree so they won't fade. With time, of course, they will, but I'm trying to prolong that. The sunflower door is one of my favorites, and Love Grows Here. I think that looks kind of like a country door, and my granddaughter and grandson helped me paint that one using their hands and feet. There's a lot of garden decor in my children's fairy garden. This is an old wash basin. I just tipped it over on its side and put gravel inside, making it look like the gravel is spilling out. But all these cute little stepping stones, they're just garden decor I found at the Dollar Tree. For $1.25 each, I thought that was a really cute way to add, in my opinion, what looks like little stepping stones. And all this fairy garden decor I got at the Dollar Tree as well. Look at this cute little fairy that sits right on top of a flower pot. My beautiful clematis is blooming. And there's a little oaxis. I think it looks kind of whimsical and charming. And of course, my bottle trees. Bottle trees are so much fun to make, and they are such a great idea to add color to your garden without depending on flowers. I find all my bottles at the thrift store, sometimes yard sales, and even the Dollar Tree sells colored bottles. And then all I do is hammer rebar into the ground. You can kind of see how it's spaced apart to leave room for the bottles. And these aren't glued on or attached in any special way. They just simply slide off and on, making it easy to change them up when they fade. Now, if you're thinking about creating a bottle tree in your garden, but the thought of hammering rebar on the ground is just too difficult, or maybe you don't have space in your garden for a bottle tree, I also made a bottle tree in a flower pot that is much easier. Let me show you. This bottle tree is my favorite because it was the easiest to make. There was no hammering at all. Look at this. All I did was just use my hands and stick different size rebars in the flower pot. This was so effortless. And the reason why I also like bottle trees and flower pots is because I can move it around to different locations in my garden. So I guess you could say it's like a mobile bottle tree. Since we're right here, let me tell you more about my succulent propagation station, because there's really a lot of garden decor over here. Those 3 benches I found at a park, they were getting rid of them, throwing them away. So a friend found them for me, and I just painted them different colors. And I stack one bench right on top of the other. It makes a cute little shelf. And I have a cute little collection of bird houses. Somebody asked me if birds actually make homes in there, and unfortunately, no, they don't. That would be fun if they did, but they don't. I found the bird houses at the same thrift store I love going to in my town. And one day they even had all these cute little bird decorations. I think they're adorable. So I just thought it was kind of fitting to put the birds up there with the houses. And these cute little colored pots, the ones of different shades of blue and pink. Aren't they adorable? I actually found those at a local plant sale. So that's my succulent propagation station. It's a great little area where I can add more garden decor and lots of color to my garden. I also like to stack pots as a way to add decorations to my garden. Because my garden's so small, it's a way I can add more. All I did was got terracotta pots, or the ceramic ones on the bottom, and just put one right on top of the other. They're not secured, they're just secured by the weight. Easy breezy, no trick to doing this. You just stick one pot on top of the other. Look at my beautiful Carolina jasmine. This has been so beautiful in my garden this spring. And you notice there's a horseshoe flower. All I did was glued horseshoes together and painted them, and that's on a stick of rebar. At the time I used an epoxy. It was kind of messy, but I know now that the hobby stores sell E6000 glue, which is wonderful. And I have a couple more horseshoe flowers over here. I also made this flower out of bigger horseshoes. And in the center is some round thing I got at an antique shop. I don't know what that came from, some tractor or agriculture part, and I just glued them together. I have 2 vintage bathtubs, and I found both of them at a flea market. Story goes they came from a hotel out of San Francisco. I guess they were remodeling the hotel, you know, making it modern, and they were throwing them away. So I picked up 2 vintage bathtubs. I'll be honest with you, I only paid $50 for each one. Anybody who knows anything about antiques and vintage bathtubs, you know that that was such a score. And they still have all their original feet and hardware. These are not easy to find. And this is my other vintage bathtub. This one's a little bit different. This one has some patina on it, maybe some paint that peeled, who knows. But they make great planters, because when I water them, the water drains out the drain hole that is already there anyway, for like when you take a bath. Instead of going out to the pipes, it just goes out to the ground. So they make wonderful, wonderful planters. And this shiny flower underneath my bathtub is actually a car shroud. And I think it looks like a flower, so I just kind of stuck it here, see? Used to be on an old car, but I think it looks like a flower. Let me know if you think I should paint it, maybe change the center to yellow or pink, or let me know what you think. This is my iron plant stand. I have to show you this. Although my daffodils are done blooming, they're kind of an eyesore, but this iron structure is definitely beautiful. Somebody actually handcrafted this, and it's made out of rebar. I feel so blessed that it ended up in my garden. This was thrown out on the street to be discarded. A friend of mine was driving by and saw it and said, "Hey, Liz will like this for her garden, and I couldn't be more pleased. It's absolutely beautiful. I have no idea what it was originally used for or why the person made it. I'm thinking maybe it was a purse rack or something for a store, or maybe the person had a garden center. I have no idea. I would love to know what you think. And I just got that garden sign at one of those antique shops. It's not old, but you know how sometimes they sell gifts and novelty items. I found this cute little plant stand at the thrift store, and I just sprayed it black, but it might be faded by now. And this plant stand right here, I found at a garage sale. I actually got 2 of them. And the other one I have right here, kind of like matching plant stands. But let me show you this. I love this. This is an old tea kettle. I found this at a garage sale as well. It's super heavy, and inside I'm growing a creeping Jenny. But I just think it's so charming. And I just keep it right here on that plant stand. Then the creeping Jenny kind of trails down and just gives the garden some whimsical charm. These are solar lights I got at the Tractor Supply. I really don't like the light. It's kind of too bright, but I like it just for the little chicks and just for the look. I suppose I could cut this light off since I'm not depending on the solar, but I just think it's kind of cute because I love chickens. I call this area my happy place. This is my covered patio where I pot plants and answer comments and talk on the phone, read the Bible, whatever. This is my happy place. And it's made up of thrift store treasures, antiques, yard sale finds, garden decor, knickknacks, doodads, and whatnot. I have a collection of water cans that I pick up at the thrift store. All I do is I just put a screw in the post, and I think those look a lot more fun than looking at that white post. And I do have some more bottles up here along the fence line. And I just screwed them in the fence, and I just thought that the colored bottles kind of obstructed the view from the neighbor's house. My girlfriend Kelly, she's a viewer of my channel. She handcrafted this for me. I absolutely love it. I think she's so gifted and talented, and what a gift that was to receive that from her. And look at my hellebores blooming. Yay, I've waited all year for that. And I also have some more watering cans on my little plant stand. Some saws that I found at a yard sale, and I just hand painted those. Signs. What I do is I go to the thrift store and I get old signs and I repaint them with my own design. Life began in a garden. And I get old painted shovels and paint designs on them. Free weeds, dig in. Jesus saves. I love Jesus. He's my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. A cute little sign that reads, "Don't worry, be happy." A beautiful maidenhair fern growing out of that old sink, and some milk jugs with an old wheel. And over here I have these narrow little shelves where I grow succulents in fun containers that I find at the thrift store. Now, when you go to the thrift store and you find decorative containers, most of the time they don't have holes on the bottom, but that's okay because they're super easy to drill. You just get a special drill bit that's made for glass and ceramics. Trust me, if I can do it, you can too. But isn't that super cute? It would have been a shame if I didn't get this because it didn't have a drainage hole. So really, any container you find at the thrift store, you can turn into a planter with that special drill bit. Now, just as promised, let me take you out front and show you what I did with my old water fountain. Now, here's something super exciting that I can't wait to share with you. If you notice, this water fountain is actually new. But what did I do with my old one? That's the best part, because my other fountain was made out of resin. Every time I scrubbed it, the paint peeled, but I didn't throw it away. I put a little coat of gray spray paint on it. I drilled holes on the bottom for drainage, and I'm using it in the front of my house for a succulent plant stand. What a great way to make use of an old fountain, right? I didn't have the heart to throw it away, so that's what I did with my old water fountain. So you see, you don't have to spend a lot of money to decorate your garden. I hope my garden decor tour gave you some ideas and inspiration for your garden too. Thanks for watching.